Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjana Shilakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yatkripatamaham vande Shri Guru Vinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om. So we are continuing our reading from Prarthana and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Canto 3. May the dancing of Sri Narottama's lotus feet, which is graceful with the melodious sounds of kartals and mridangas, and which is sweet with the honey of Lord Gauranga, fulfill the desires of me, his servant. So we are on song number 6 of Lalsa from Prarthana. Would you like to sing, Prabhu?
Sure. The whole thing, or how do you do it?
This one.
If there's
Yeah, I have to figure out every day because they are different meters for new songs. I've never heard them, but feels
okay,
like
I can just sing.
Yeah, feels like yahi baro karu na karo, maybe.
Yeah, it's also like Jai Radhe Jai. There's a happy one too. Lokanath Prabhu tumi daya karo more, Hare Kṛṣṇa charane na sadachita spure. Tumara sahite taki sakira sahite, to vasana mora sada ute chite. Saki gana jishta yena tamara charane, more samakile kobe sevara karane. Tabe se hoibe mora vanchita purana, anande se hibo dona rayuga charana. Shirupa manjari saki kupa dushti chaya, tapina rotava sincha seva mritatiya.
Jai Narottam Thakur ki jai. Translation. O Lokanath, O my master, please be merciful to me and bless me that Shri Radha Krishna's lotus feet may be always manifest within my mind. I wish to have your association. When you manifest your form as a gopi friend of the divine couple, the desire continually arises in my mind. O Master, when, by your mercy, will I be allowed to serve the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, the best of all gopis? If you will fulfill my desire, then I will be able to blissfully serve the lotus feet of the divine couple. O Shri Rupa Manjari, O friend of the divine couple, please cast your glance of mercy upon me. Please sprinkle this distressed Narottama Das with the nectar of your devotional service. Shri Narottama Thakur ki jai. I'll read 2 verses from this, from the second chapter, and then I'll just continue on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So, you can do one, I can do one.
Shushusham Shravathanasya Vasudeva Katarichi Sammahat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Vishevana.
You can do the translation.
O twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice, great service is done. By such service one gains affinity from hearing the messages of Vasudeva.
Shrunvadam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayanta Swabhadrani Vidunoti Suhit Satam. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Okay. So I am on Canto 3, chapter 1, and the verse number is, I think, 44. Let me just get the book. Is it too small for you, the text? Here? Okay, one second. I'll just get the book. Om Adhyanatirandhasya Jnananjana So we're continuing our reading from Canto 3, Chapter 1, Text 44. Would you like to do the honor, Prabhu?
Okay. The appearance of the Lord is manifested for the annihilation of the upstarts. His activities are transcendental and are enacted for the understanding of all persons. Otherwise, since the Lord is transcendental to all material modes, what purpose could he serve by coming to earth? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha from Siddhānta chapter 5 verse 1. The form of the Lord is eternal, blissful, and all-satisfying. His so-called birth is therefore an appearance only, like the birth of the sun on the horizon. His birth does not, like that of the living entities, take place under the influence of material nature and the bondage of the reactions of past deeds. His works and activities are independent pastimes and are not subject to the reactions of material nature. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 14, it is said, Namam karmani lampanti, name karma pale spriha, itimam yod vijanati, karma virsa na sapadite. The law of karma, enacted by the Supreme Lord for the living entities, cannot be applicable to him. Nor has the Lord any desire to improve himself by activities like those of ordinary living beings. Ordinary living beings work for the improvement of their conditional lives. But the Lord is already full of all opulence, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. Why should he desire improvement? No one can excel him in any opulence, and therefore the desire for improvement is absolutely useless for him. One should always discriminate between the activities of the Lord and those of ordinary living beings. Thus one may come to the right conclusion regarding the Lord's transcendental position. One who can come to the conclusion of the Lord's transcendence can become a devotee of the Lord and can at once be free from all reactions of past deeds. It is said, Karmani nidrahati kintu cha bhakti bhaja. The Lord minimizes or nullifies the reactionary influence of the devotee's past deeds. The activities of the Lord are to be accepted and relished by all living entities. His activities are to attract the ordinary man toward the Lord. The Lord always acts in favor of the devotees, and therefore ordinary men who are fruitive actors or seekers of salvation may be attracted to the Lord when he acts as protector of the devotees. The fruitive actors can attain their goals by devotional service, and the salvationists can attain their goal in life by devotional service to the Lord. The devotees do not want the fruitive results of their work, nor do they want any kind of salvation. They relish the glorious superhuman activities of the Lord, such as his lifting Govardhan hill and his killing the demon Putana in infancy. His activities are enacted to attract all kinds of men, karmis, jnanis, and bhaktas. Because he is transcendental to all laws of karma, there is no possibility of his accepting a form of maya as is forced on the ordinary living entities who are bound by the actions and reactions of their own deeds. The secondary purpose of his appearance is to annihilate the upstart asuras and to stop the nonsense of atheistic propaganda by less intelligent persons. By the Lord's causeless mercy, the asuras who are killed personally by the personality of Godhead get salvation. The meaningful appearance of the Lord is always distinct from ordinary birth. Even the pure devotees have no connection with the material body, and certainly the Lord, who appears as he is in his Satchid Ananda form, is not limited by a material form. 45. O my friend, please therefore chant the glories of the Lord, who is meant to be glorified in the places of pilgrimage. He is unborn, and yet he appears by his causeless mercy upon the surrendered rulers of all parts of the universe. Only for their interest did he appear in the family of his unalloyed devotees, the Yadus. Srila Prabhupada's purport: there are innumerable rulers all over the universe in different varieties of planets. The sun god in the sun planet, the moon god in the moon planet, Indra in the heavenly planet, Vayu, Varuna, and those in the Brahmaloka, the planet where Lord Rama is living. All are obedient servants of the Lord. Whenever there is any trouble in the administration of the innumerable planets in different universes, the rulers pray for an appearance, and the Lord appears. The Bhagavatam 1.3.28 has already confirmed this in the following verse. Ete chamsha kala pumsa Krishnastu bhagavan sayam Indrari vyakulam lokam mridayanti yuge yuge. In every millennium, whenever there is any trouble for the obedient rulers, the Lord appears. He also appears for the sake of his pure unalloyed devotees. The surrendered rulers and the pure devotees are always strictly under the control of the Lord, and they are never disobedient to the desires of the Lord. The Lord is therefore always attentive to them. The purpose of pilgrimages is to remember the Lord constantly, and therefore the Lord is known as Tirtha Kirti. The purpose of going to a place of pilgrimage is to get the chance to glorify the Lord. Even today, although times have changed, there are still pilgrimage sites in India. For example, in Mathura and Vrindavana, where we had a chance to stay, people are awake from early in the morning at 4 a.m. up until nighttime, and are constantly engaged, some way or other, in chanting the holy glories of the Lord. The beauty of such a pilgrimage site is that automatically one remembers the holy glories of the Lord. His name, fame, quality, form, pastimes, and entourage are all identical to the Lord, and therefore chanting the glories of the Lord invokes the personal presence of the Lord. Anytime or anywhere pure devotees meet and chant the glories of the Lord is present without any doubt. It is said by the Lord himself that he always stays where his pure devotees chant his glories. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 1st chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Questions by Vidura. Your turn.
Shall I? Okay. Chapter 2, text 1. Srila Shukdev Goswami said, when the great devotee Uddhava was asked by Vidura to speak on the message of the dearest Lord Krishna, Uddhava was unable to answer immediately due to the excessive anxiety at the remembrance of the Lord. Text 2. He was one who, even in his childhood, at the age of 5 years, was so absorbed in the service of Lord Krishna that when he was called by his mother for morning breakfast, he did not wish to have it. From his very birth, Uddhava was a natural devotee of the Lord Krishna, or a Nitya Siddha, or a liberated soul. From natural instinct, he used to serve Lord Krishna. Even in his childhood, he used to play with dolls in the form of Krishna. He used to serve the dolls by dressing, feeding, and worshipping them. Thus, he was constantly absorbed in the play of transcendental realization. These are the signs of an eternally liberated soul. An eternally liberated soul. One second. An eternally liberated soul is a devotee of the Lord who never forgets him. Human life is meant for reviving one's eternal relation with the Lord, and all religious injunctions are meant for awakening this dormant instinction of the living entity. The sooner this awakening is brought about, the quicker the mission of the human life is fulfilled. In a good family of devotees, the child gets the opportunity to serve the Lord in many ways. A soul who is already advanced in devotional service has the opportunity to take birth in such an enlightened family. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 6.41. Suchinam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Bhrishto Abhijayate. Even the fallen devotee gets the opportunity to take his birth in a family of well situated Brahmanas or in a rich, well to do mercantile family. In both these families, there is a good opportunity to revive one's sense of God consciousness automatically, because, particularly in these families, the worship of Lord Krishna is regularly performed and the child gets the opportunity to imitate the process of worship called Archana. The Pancharatric formula for training persons in devotional service is temple worship. The Pancharatric formula for training persons in devotional service is temple worship, whereas the neophytes get the opportunity to learn devotional service to the Lord. Maharaj Parikshit also used to play with Krishna dolls in his childhood. In India, children in good families are still given dolls of the Lord like Rama and Krishna, or sometimes the demigods, so that they may develop the aptitude of the service to the Lord. By the grace of the Lord, we are given the same opportunity by our parents, and the beginning of our life was based on this principle. Text 3. Saying something more. Text 3. Uddhava thus served the Lord continually from childhood, and in his old age that attitude of service never slackened. As soon as he was asked about the message of the Lord, he at once remembered all about him. Srila Prabhupada's purport: transcendental service to the Lord is not mundane. The service attitude of a devotee gradually increases and never becomes slackened. Generally, in the old age, a person is allowed retirement from mundane service, but in the transcendental service of the Lord, there is no retirement at all. On the contrary, the service attitude increases more and more with the progress of age. In the transcendental service, there is no satiation, and therefore there is no retirement. Materially, when a man becomes tired by rendering service in his physical body, he is allowed retirement. But in the transcendental service, there is no feeling of fatigue, because it is spiritual service and it is not on the bodily plane. Service on the bodily plane dwindles as the body grows older, but the spirit is never old, and therefore on the spiritual plane the service is never tiresome. Uddhava undoubtedly became old, but that does not mean that his spirit became old. His service attitude matured on the transcendental plane, and therefore as soon as he was cautioned by Vidura about Lord Krishna, he at once remembered his Lord by reference to the context and forgot himself on the physical plane. That is a sign of pure devotional service of the Lord, as will be explained later on Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya, etc. in Lord Kapila's instruction in his mother Devahuti. Text 4. For a moment he remained dead silent, and he did not move. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering the Lord's lotus feet in devotional ecstasy, and he appeared to be going increasingly deeper into that ecstasy. Srila Prabhupada's purport: on the inquiry of Vidura about Krishna, Uddhava appeared to be awakened from slumber. He appeared to regret that he had forgotten the lotus feet of the Lord. Thus he again remembered the lotus feet of the Lord, and remembered all his transcendental loving service unto him. And by so doing, he felt the same ecstasy that he used to feel in the presence of the Lord. Because the Lord is absolute, there is no difference between his remembrance and his personal presence. Thus, Uddhava remained completely silent for a moment. But then he appeared to be going deeper and deeper into ecstasy. Feelings of ecstasy are displayed by highly advanced devotees of the Lord. There are 8 kinds of transcendental changes in the body. Tears, shivering of the body, perspiration, restlessness, throbbing, choking of the throat, etc. And all were manifested by Uddhava in the presence of Vidura. You can continue.
Text 5. It was so observed by Vidura that Uddhava had all the transcendental bodily changes due to total ecstasy, and he was trying to wipe away tears of separation from his eyes. Thus, Vidura could understand that Uddhava had completely assimilated extensive love for the Lord. Srila Prabhupada's purport. The symptoms of the highest order of devotional life were observed by Vidura, an experienced devotee of the Lord, and he confirmed Uddhava's perfectional stage of love of Godhead. Ecstatic bodily changes are manifested from the spiritual plane and are not artificial expressions developed by practice. There are 3 different stages of development in devotional service. The first stage is that of following the regulative principles prescribed in the codes of devotional service. The second stage is that of assimilation and realization of the steady condition of devotional service. And the last stage is that of ecstasy symptomized by transcendental bodily expression. The 9 different modes of devotional service, such as hearing, chanting, and remembering, are the beginning of the process. By regular hearing of the glories and pastimes of the Lord, the impurities in the student's heart begin to be washed off. The more one is cleansed of impurities, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. Gradually, the activities take the forms of steadiness, firm faith, taste, realization, and assimilation, one after another. These different stages of gradual development increase love of God to the highest stage, and in the highest stage there are still more symptoms, such as affection, anger, and attachment. Gradually rising in acceptance